What is going on, guys? We are back on Rexar, the Beastlord. We are level 36. We are hanging out in Dawnshroud Peaks. You can see us here on the map. The zone is pretty small. We got light crawlers here that are green, aggro, and annoying. Everything else here doesn't aggro on me as a Beastlord. Probably you're safe as a ranger or a druid with the wolves. There's a wolf over here. If you con them, they are amiably. So they're not going to mess with you. But anybody else, they're going to mess with you. So I guess I would suggest, you can see here, we're pretty close to the zone, the zone line, but the wall here, I would just pull to the wall to avoid wolf aggro, because there's a bunch of wolves running around, and then there's traps too, so they'll spawn. Luclin loves their traps. And so do we, boys, don't we? All right, so I'm just out here killing Zelniaks. We got the large ones, these are the better ones, and then we have the regular Zelniaks, which are a little bit lower level. But on the southeast part of the zone, you got tribal dudes, and I think they're like ranger class. So they root, they have little heals, and they're just annoying. Maybe we'll kill them, maybe we won't. But right now we're going to focus on some Zelniaks and some wolves. Some of the wolves are white. You can see them here. The traps spawn bloodthirsty wolves or something. Those dudes are going to be probably red. But these guys are white, and there's some blue ones as well. The wolves slap. The wolves are pretty damn tough, so you can see they're mostly white, but there are blue ones that are going around. But there's a bunch of these Zelniaks. The Zelniaks don't social. Tons of Zelniaks. I was actually swarming these on my Bard. More Zelniaks. We swarm these on the Bard a little bit. But that's what we're going to be doing. You can see Maiden's Eye. There are a couple of camps here, so when you get into your like mid to late 30s to mid 40s, it's a little bit of a squeeze here if you're trying to stay in Luclin. There's not a ton. You can kill some stuff like here or like Grimling Forest, I think, but there's not really like camps so much, you know? There's not really like there's not really like camps really. Now some of the camps here are higher levels. You got the rock hoppers in this cave right here, but they are higher level. Those are like, I don't know, maybe late 40s, something like that. And then you got tribal dudes in front of Maiden's Eye. That one you're probably going to need a group or some sort of pacify or something, because there's like 10 of them on top of each other. And those guys are a little higher level as well. So anyways, we're just going to run around and just kill Zelniaks, really. So in the previous episode, you saw that we did get our Eye Patch of Plunder. So we're going to be using that to get our haste buff. And we'll use some of our fungi greatness. And I'm just going to slow. There's a blue wolf right here. Slow. Put the pet on him. And we're going to jump in there as well. I did aggro 2 wolves. I decided to kill some wolves, you know. And even the blue wolves, I think they're higher level than the Zelniaks. Because they just have more HP. And they do more damage. They're beasts. Quite literally. And so I was killing one and it was just taking forever. And they run as well. So while it's running, we end up running into another wolf. And the wolves are just tough. Like, if you aggro 2 wolves, you gotta go. Basically, you gotta just go take it to the zone. The light crawlers are annoying. You're probably familiar with them, but if not, they blind you. Like the shaman blind spell that you'll get sometimes. And that could be really annoying. So we'll go for this wolf right here. Wait, a tribal prowler. What is that? I'm not sure what that is. Let's kill it. I don't see any other wolves around, so hopefully we can manage to not get aggro. Have another one. This guy seems to be weaker than the rest. I haven't seen this guy. Maybe he's a named or something. Let's see. A tribal prowler. Let's see what this guy's about. He drops a tribal prowler's pelt. Which is for a quest given by a tribal shaman here in Dawnshroud Peaks. So he's a weak boy. But he's a quest mob of some sort. So what do you get for this quest? You receive Sambata tribal war beads. 2 strength, 2 wisdom, 3 intelligence, 5 AC. I have a feeling that this NPC... given by a tribal shaman. He's probably in the cave? No, he's standing in the middle of the pack of mobs that are in front of Maiden's Eye. So maybe we'll go do it. I don't know if he's going to be up or not, but I think those guys are like pretty neutral with us, so I don't think they'll aggro on us. Maybe we'll just go do it just to show it. You never know what kind of gear people have out there, you know. Here, let's see. Did he drop it? Is it 100%? Here it is. Maybe we'll do that. You never know what kind of gear the viewers have. You know, some people are just starting here. All different times. Let's hurry up and get over here. And so you might not have any money and you're just trying to get gear and stuff like that. I mean, stuff's pretty cheap in the Bazaar. There's probably better ways of getting better gear, but it's always nice just to show stuff. Some people are doing solo self-found. Some people just like to do quests and learn like quests and oddities of the game. So it's nice to just show some stuff, even if it's not necessarily useful to the most. Let's go ahead and put that regen back on though, I suppose. So I'm getting like, I'm not running a potion or anything. I'm really bad about running potions. I'm just kind of like a hoarder when it comes to potions. I don't know, on the solo self-found hardcore Beastlord, I was really good about it because I was like, I could die right now. I could die in 5 minutes from now. So I was just really good about just blowing potions. But on my characters that don't have, you know, that are basically immortal, I'm just not good about blowing the potions. We're still in our 30s, so, you know, you could probably start out with like 58 potions or something now, something crazy. You could probably blow all of those in the 50s, you know, and you'd still only have gotten a couple of levels. Because that's 58 hours of potion. That's actually kind of crazy when you say it like that. 58 hours of XP potion. Some of those levels in the 50s, you know, they'll take you. They'll take you, you know, a dozen or more hours or something, right? So you could blow through those pretty quickly. Like 59, 54, and 59 are pretty beastly. I feel like those 2 levels alone could probably gobble up all those potions. Maybe not, but you know what I mean. The 50s are wild. You can blow through all these in the 50s easy. Alright. What am I can't see my target. Okay. These dudes are pretty, see, if we take one of these regulars... Damn it. That was the wrong spell, but that's okay. If we take a regular Zelniak from time to time, that'll give us a little bit of time to recover. The large Zelniaks are a bit stronger. So that's another thing. The tribal dudes do have factions, so if we kill them, we're gonna worsen our faction, and then they're a problem because, you know, then you can aggro them when you're running by and stuff like that. You don't really necessarily need to kill them. We killed some tribal dudes in the Netherbean lair in an earlier video, but they're not on the they're not on the faction as these guys. So we'll just chain pull a couple of these. I don't know if I said it or if I just started talking about something else, but yeah, we're getting about 2% per kill. So it says we're doing about 53% an hour. That really hasn't moved. I killed a bit before starting to record, and it really hasn't moved at all. Oh boy, here's a God damn it. So we're gonna get blinded. Let's get this guy killed before we... He's on the bear, so that's good, I guess. Let's just get a Dawn on him. Hopefully resist most of the spells because he is a green. These Zelniaks pull themselves though. They're just, you know, they just keep coming, so it's pretty good. For the most part. Now, of course, if you run into a bard out here, he's gonna gobble all of them up. And then you're not gonna see any. Which, you know, could be annoying, but it is what it is. So, like I said, there's not a ton of places to go between like 35 and 45 if you're staying in Luclin. So it's a bit of a tight squeeze. Kind of have to make do. You might be killing like fringe things, like, you know, our options are pretty limited here. We're killing Zelniaks and blue wolves, like specifically blue wolves, and that's really all we're killing. There are mushroom dudes as well, down here by Greek's End and like kind of along the wall in certain spots. But those guys are annoying. One, they're like shamans. Two, it looks like one mushroom standing in like a grove, a little mushroom circle. And when you aggro him, it's like 4 mushrooms, or three mushrooms, it's 3 mushrooms. And they're all shamans and shit, so it's a bad time. So you don't want to mess with that. Mushrooms are just basically off limits. I'm gonna have to heal up here in a moment. But we are getting a little closer. We're kind of working our way over to that NPC. See if we can turn in that pelt. Oops. Seems like there's so many Zelniaks. Maybe when I was here on my bar, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's like a full 12. That's like a full bard kite right here. But when I was here on my bard, I was finding it so hard to get like a full 12, and then like I was running around the entire zone looking for more. But I guess maybe there was people here killing Zelniaks. I was the nuisance. I need to take care of something really quickly after this kill. I'm gonna sit for a moment and meditate. All right, so we're back. And you can see here I have KEI on, Codex Endless Intellect. And I was sitting in the Nexus last night, which is probably a good idea. If you ever need to work on your skills, obviously sit in the Nexus while you do it. Because I was sitting in the Nexus and, you know, what I was actually doing, truth be told, is I was camping I was kind of dad camping on my Necro, camping a name spawn. And I would kill it, and then it's quite a bit of time until it spawns again. So like at least 30 minutes or something. So I would then camp on the Necro, and then I'd come over to the Beastlord, and I'd sit there and I'd spam spells all the way down to my mana. Then I'd sit and meditate, and then when I had like the internal timer to go kill on my Necro again, I'd log over. And so I was kind of going back and forth doing that while I was watching TV. And at some point, someone popped off an MGB KEI, which for my Beastlord, who's, you know, a big dumb ogre, and level 35, or well 36, that basically gave me unlimited mana. Or it basically gives me unlimited mana. Like, my mana doesn't really go down. Even if I spam heal myself, it doesn't go down. So, pretty good. And we still got 3, it was like 4-hour KEI, you know. And so I did like a little more of that, and then I ended up camping for the night. And when I logged in this morning, I saw it, and I was like, oh yeah, we should probably use this to go level. Currently somebody's at my necromancer's camp anyways. Seems like there's more light crawlers in the southern and eastern sides. That's what I've noticed. Nothing too exciting here though. Just killing Zelniaks, which are really weird looking. Weird looking creatures. Longer front legs and back legs. Let's go turn in that, we gotta break this up. Let's go turn in that quest, or at least like see if we can turn in that quest. These large ones have quite a bit of life. They don't drop anything. They just drop meat and I think some sort of quest item or something, but... Oh, come on. I forget the aggro range on these. Hey, at least this one's dark blue. At least this one will give us some XP. And die in like 10 seconds. Oh, fantastic. Interrupted? Oh well. Yeah, the aggro radius on these are ridiculous. I was grabbing these when I was kiting the Bard. I think like right away when I came in here, they were still dark blue for like one level. And they have such little life. I was kiting on the Bard and you just kill them so fast. Alright, let's see. So it's right over here. It's this big ass rock. So we can double check from afar. Here's the tribal dude. Yeah, apprehensive, which should be fine. So we'll see if there's a shaman in here somewhere. There's like a name dude, that tribal advisor maybe. These guys are dark blue, huh? Already? There's some sort of name mob that spawns here that's still light blue on the Necro at level 60, so... Is there a shaman up in this beast? The advisor. Here's a shaman. So let's see. Let's see if we can have a conversation with him. Why not? He didn't say anything. Let's give it to him. Probably need better. You might need better faction. Who knows? No. He gave the Sambata tribal war beads. 5 AC, 2 strength, 2 wisdom, 3 intelligence. Not terrible, I guess. It's not, you know, if you're like level 30 and especially if you're self-found or something. Not bad. So I triggered the trap which spawned the blood-starved wolf, which isn't red, it's blue. But he's amiably with me, so that's pretty funny. Might as well kill him while we're here. So I'll pet in on him. Oops. My pet taunting? Let's see. Yeah. Alright. We're just grabbing too much aggro. I was gonna say, you know, with KEI and having crazy mana as a Beastlord, you could probably just go around and let your pet tank everything and then just heal your pet. The pet heal is very efficient, right? Just drop a slow on the mob and just heal your pet and sit. Drop a dot, you can play like a shaman. Probably. And probably never run out of mana either. But as you can see, these wolves are just they're just tough for blues. The Zelniaks are way easier. The wolves, even for me with like gear and stuff, they're just pretty tough. You wouldn't be able to like farm them consistently. That first wolf we killed, oh, because that was that quest mob, that tribal wolf. That dude was weak as hell, but the other ones are tough. I guess I can throw that into the Bazaar, see if I can get like, I don't know, 25, 50 plat for that or something. I go around to vendors, and I see all kinds of stuff on vendors, and some stuff does vendor decently well. Like, you know, obviously like the earring, the forest loop from the Giants. Vendors for basically as much as people buy it for, so you might as well just vendor it, in a sense. Well, but with the Bazaar, you might as well not vendor it. That's what I was getting at. But back in the day when Kunark was out, you just vendor it, because why not? I didn't have my regen on. That was probably... should have had that on. But, boots would be nice. I could go get myself a pair of boots now that I'm a higher level, and I could probably take Drelsna with the ads and stuff. Because then, like in situations like this, I could just click the boots real quick, get to where I'm going, and then put my staff back on. Because casting, so just kind of doesn't, you know, it feels bad having to cast it just to run over here just to take it off. So the boots would come in handy, and you know, just another clicky. That's, gosh dang it, this freaking thing. That's okay. We need to heal up a bit. But yeah, with the Bazaar being out, there's no reason to not just put everything on the Bazaar. Like, it doesn't matter how big or how little, even if the margin's small, you know. There's the other way to look at it too, where you're like, maybe you're helping, you know, somebody newer, a noob, or something out. You know, if we all just go like, well, I don't need this piece of gear anymore, and it's not worth like a whole lot, and you just vendor it, you know, there's like somebody who's newer to the game who maybe doesn't have very much money, and they could use it, and putting it on the auction house or the Bazaar will help them out a bit. That's one way to look at it for sure. But it does take a tiny bit of effort to, like, you know, you gotta like research the price and put it on your trader, mule it over, or whatever you gotta do. The other thing is, you resisted. I need a better heal though. I think I said this in the last video. I'm hoping I get a better heal at 39. I haven't looked. I'm really hoping I do. It's really weak. I've got to. I must. If we can get a better heal and a better dot, obviously we're going to get a better pet. We'll be sitting real pretty. So this, by the time you all see this video, I'm recording this one a little bit early because I already have a video that I'm going to post in 2 days from now. Yeah, so I'm a little ahead right now. So I have a video I'm going to post not tomorrow because I posted one this morning. So I'm going to post one in 2 days, and then I don't know. It's going to be maybe even 5 days, because then we're going to hit the weekend. And I don't like to post stuff on the weekends. Anyways, this video is from the time of me recording this, you probably won't see this for like 5 days or so, but a couple days ago from now, they put an NPC, well, the NPC's always been there. Let me rephrase that. There's an NPC in the Bazaar, the one you buy the trader satchels from, that you can turn bags into. Let's get this guy going. And when you turn a bag into him, he'll give you a token, and you can use that token to sell the bag on the Bazaar. So now you don't have to hawk them anymore. Which is super good, because I sold probably, I think I said this already, but I probably sold somewhere between 20 to 30, probably closer to 30 of the relic packs. And, oh shit. And I had to hawk them all, you know? And that takes time. It takes time to hawk all those, and, you know, it's not like you get a buyer right away. And then if you want to try to, like, really maximize your profits, you know, you set a price and you wait for that. And like I said in another video, I took a lot of deals on those relic packs. I basically advertised them for 1,500, and this was early on. I mean, it's been a couple months now. But I had advertised at 1,500, but basically, I didn't tell people this, like, straight up. But basically, I was taking anything like over 1,000. Really. I'm out the game now, so it doesn't matter. But a couple things with that is, one, now there's going to be competition. There's people who are just too lazy to hawk, right? They have the bag, they don't want to sit. Maybe I say it sounds rude when I say it like that. One, maybe too lazy. Two, maybe they just don't want to spend the time it takes, right? It takes time, and that's time that you could be grinding AAs, leveling a character, farming plat, doing other things. Time is money as well. So sitting in the bazaar is not the you know, the best thing. But what I would do is I was like, during the Monsters and Memories playtest, I would be playing Monsters and Memories, and then I'd alt tab over. God damn it! I'd alt tab over. And I'd spam that I'm selling the bag, and then I'd alt-tab back to Monsters Memories. I'd be playing that. And that was sort of my routine, and that was a way to sell stuff without really, like, wasting time, per se. I gotta get out of this side, I'm telling you. South and over here, there's just a lot more of these things, and they aggro from so far away. You just gotta get more in the middle and the north, and you can avoid most of these light crawlers. They're just super annoying. If they were dark blue, I wouldn't care as much, but we've seen one dark blue, and then we've seen a ton of greens. Heal up a little bit more. So, with being able to sell them in the bazaar now, it will bring the price down, because now you have competition. Like when I was spamming them, I was the only dude. Like I almost never saw another person spamming. One, I kind of locked it down a bit. At least for like this 1 week. That Monsters and Memories was doing that week-long playtest. Kind of locked it down during that week. All right. But now, people who've had them, who don't necessarily need them, have extras, like I said, didn't want to, I guess I could have. Didn't want to spend the time. They're now free to just throw it up, set it, and forget it. So, now, it makes it better for the buyer, though, too. Because if people aren't selling them, it's hard to buy them, right? So, like, for instance, I think in the last episode I was talking about I need bags on this guy. I only have 2 bags. And I can carry a ton of shit being an ogre, and I have a ton of strength. How much strength do I have? 228. So, I said I want a box of Abukar, but I don't want to go get it, right? Where you have to wait for the name to spawn, and I got to leave the moon again, and I just don't want to go do it. So, I said I had seen somebody selling one for 500 plat, 550 maybe? I think it was 550. And I was like, I should have just swooped that up, and I didn't. Well, now I can go into the Bazaar, and they're just there. So now I can buy one at my leisure. So a couple of ideas or thoughts on this is, one, it should drive the price down. Because people, you know, that wouldn't normally be selling it can now just throw it up, set it, and forget it. But since it's like a brand new feature, people are starting high. They're shooting for the stars. So a few days need to go by. Now at this point, I think it's been maybe 48 hours. At least it's been like 24 hours since I noticed it. And I'm assuming maybe it went live about a day before I noticed it, as of the recording of this, which is probably 5 days ago from when you're watching it. But anyways, so I'm letting a couple days go by so things can get back to reality. Because when you're hawking it, you're actually kind of, you know, some people are down to just let it go because they don't want to spend the time. So they're just like, whatever, somebody take this from me. Whereas now they can set it and forget it. They're just like, 1,000 plat for this box of Aguicar. So let a few days go by. People will undercut each other over the course of a couple of days, and more people will figure out that you can sell bags, because there's that too. You know, by the time I figured out you could sell bags, I looked on the Bazaar, and there was like 2 or 3 of each different bag. So that was, you know, so people knew before me, but then there's going to be more and more and more people who find out. So the bags will start flooding. People will start undercutting each other. People undercut like savages already anyways. I mean, I go on this rant all the time, but, you know, you can undercut somebody by 5 plat and be the lowest on the market. So if somebody's going to buy it, they're going to choose you. You're the lowest. That's just how it works. I want this item. Who's the lowest? That guy. Let me buy it from him. But then people will go out of their way and cut like 500 plat below your item, and it's like, bro. There is a certain threshold in which somebody will be like, that's too low, I'm gonna buy that. But usually that's like a reseller. They're gonna buy it because they see I could be patient and make a profit off of this margin. It's not usually the guy who's looking for it to wear it, usually. Now, there are people out there like that, but I'd say a majority of people aren't patient. Like, I was super patient on the Necro. I got a lot of items that I want. I waited for good deals. It took weeks, you know. So there is that going on, but I'd say a majority of people, and just the smart way to get the money is just be the lowest dude on the list. Like, you don't have to chunk it so fucking hard. You're just wasting everybody's money. Because then what happens is you get 2 people like that. They start chunking each other. Meanwhile, nobody's buying it, dude. Eventually, you'll get it low enough to where somebody buys it. But it's like, damn, if you would have just advertised it in /auction, you could have probably sold it for more. Bringing it to the awareness of how low you're willing to go. Well, whatever, anyways. End rant. And that's what's not end rant. And that's what sucks is, like, if you're farming a certain item and there's other people who also farm that item and they're willing to go dirt cheap on it, it kind of forces your hand, because you need to, even if you undercut them by 5, then they undercut you by 300. And then you undercut them by 5, and then they undercut you by 300. And then it's like, bro, like, why are we racing to the bottom? Why are we trying to go so fast? But there's people like that just don't, like, value their time, I guess. I don't know. And I mean, there's similar problems like that in real life as well. But real life, it gets really complicated in real life, right? If say we're using like eBay as an example, things get real complicated because now there is eBay for different countries, but that doesn't stop you. Like, you can, I've sold stuff to, you know, people in Europe on eBay, stuff like that. I've sold stuff to people in Asia. But with different countries, you have different currencies, and with different currencies, they have different world values. You know, a dollar here could be worth $10 somewhere else, so on and so forth. That's where stuff gets real wild. And that's why buying gold is so cheap. Not to get too political or I don't want to stay too PC, but you know, just to try to be neutral or whatever. That's why if you live in a country with a weaker dollar, it's viable to farm gold on, say, like World of Warcraft or plat on EverQuest and then sell it on the black market. Because some Americans like, what? 1,000 gold on WoW for 20 bucks? That's not bad. But then $20 to that person is actually like $100. So they're selling 1,000 plat for $100. And depending on how weak the dollar is in your country, you can make a living off of selling gold to fat, gluttonous Americans. And that's really what it is. You live in a poor country, and so some people look at it and they miss out on the point where they're like, you know, who would sell 1,000 gold for $20? That's insane. Like, who would do that? You know how long it takes me to farm 1,000 gold? That'll take me like 8 hours. Like 8 hours of my time isn't worth $20. I could just go to work and make, you know, what, $20 an hour or whatever, you know, example. And it's like, because you're not thinking of it right. The person who's selling it to you lives in a country where 20 American dollars is worth $150 in their country. So yeah, maybe it took them 8 hours to farm it, but they just made $150. That is their job. I figure most people understand that, but the way you see people talk in like chat channels and discords and shit, it's pretty clear that people just don't think. I want to say critically think, but it doesn't seem that critical to me. Seems kind of obvious. Anyways, Zelniaks are dying, you know? We got our XP up to 60% an hour. Not great, but not bad. DSP is not too bad. It's not too bad on the list of Zem for Luclin. It's not like, it's not amazing, but it's not bad. It's kind of in the middle, if I remember correctly. It's better than Mars Saru was. Probably need to oh my. Okay, there we go. Need to buff my pet, probably. Just toss pet a heal. We are getting to the point. Oh, Jesus. At least it's blue. Alright, let's go. We're getting to the point to where even blue mobs are kind of jacking us up pretty decently. So, you know, we're still geared, and we still have a fungi staff, but we're getting to the point to where we're not godly. We're just really good now. Even this light crawler is like jacking my bear up. This bear's really weak. The bear's light blue now. So what I'm going to do now, I need to work on my car today. I hit something on the freeway when I went out of town a couple weeks back. And I need to, it didn't do that much damage, but it knocked something loose. And so I need to get that fixed, put back on properly. But I gotta, I watched a couple of YouTube videos on how to properly do that. Oh shit, we dinged. I didn't even realize how close we were to dinging. That's perfect, actually. I was going to end it right now. Not end it, but I was going to pause it. Perfect. We're level 37. So I watched a couple YouTube videos on how to take everything apart so that I can get it back in and then put it back together. So I need to do that today, though. I got to be an adult today. So I'm going to go do that while it's cool outside still. And this is a good place to pause, because since this video is not going to go live for about 5 days from right now, I'll probably have a couple sessions between now and the next part of this video. And then, you know, maybe we'll be, I don't know, maybe we'll be 39, or who knows where I'll be. And I'll do another little chunk of video, and we'll finish it off with me being a little bit higher, get a new pet and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully I'll be 39 by then, but no guarantees. But I'll check back in with you then. All right, so I think we're just gonna finish the episode in Dawnshroud Peaks. Anyways, you can see that there's plenty of dark blue stuff still. I'm level 40 now, so I've been here the whole time. And you can see I'll demolish these things now, because we got level 39. We got our newer skills. We got to level 40. My weapons now proc, albeit they don't really proc a whole lot. But we are dual wielding procking weapons. And I think we'll get a dex buff eventually. And hopefully that will help a bit. Although I do have really good dex. My dex is at 132 for a fat-ass ogre. So that's really good for an ogre. But there's still plenty of dark blue stuff around. And also there's higher level mobs. Like there's the tribal dudes, which, I don't know, I'm kind of thinking that I don't want to kill the tribal dudes. There are the rock hoppers though, which we can definitely kill the rock hoppers. There's been wizards out here lately. And do the ice cream man? Like immediately? And the rock hoppers, pretty high level though. Anyways, the wizards here, that's probably like another visit. Like you leave and come back for the rock hoppers. Anyways, the wizards around here are quad kiting wolves, pretty much, or so it seems. It's been the case. Sorry about the ice cream man, but you know. Wouldn't be a video without something, right? So we're just staying here. We're killing the dark blues, pretty much just the wolves and the Zelniaks. The same shit we were killing prior, except for I have been engaging with the stone grabbers a bit. We're just having an easier time, right? 39 was a huge spell level for us, massive. I did turn down the volume. We're gonna see how it works out. I turned it down 15% in game. It was already at 45%. Sound volume, sound effects. Unfortunately, the music's been off for 2 months now because the Luclin music is busted. I don't know if it's still busted or what's the case, but I gotta find out if it's ever been fixed or not. Last I checked, it wasn't. Where it just, you know, every time the song loops, it just goes to max volume and starts blasting you. So, can't be having that. I spent 4 hours, more, maybe more. I think I spent about 6 hours. I got like a 4-hour KEI, and I was sitting in the Nexus, and I blew almost the entire thing. And when I was getting real close, I was under an hour somewhere. They hit me with another one, like another MGB 4-hour KEI, and it was just like, I was sitting here watching TV and stuff. I camped that one out. And then I logged in another day and just kept working on my skills and stuff. My, what was it? Divination. You don't really use divination as much as a Beastlord, for much. But I do have blind. So I sat there and cast blind. That one took a long time because it was down. It was like 20 or something like that. And I got that all the way up to like 140. That in itself, because I didn't blow any potions. I could blow potions, but with KEI, and then I even got hit with spiritual light, which is even more. I don't run out of mana. I can just sit there and cast nonstop and not ever have to sit in med or anything. Something like blind because it's really cheap. But anyways, that one took a couple hours. I feel like it took 2 hours to get divination from 20 up to like 140 or something like that. So that's good for a while. I'm not really using that too much. The crazy thing is alterations at 170. It's really high. It's my highest, I believe. And earlier I still fizzled like, I don't even know, like 7 times in a row trying to cast a heal on myself. I mean, sometimes you fizzle, sometimes you don't. But that one was like 7 in a row, and it's just like, dude, like, it's 170. It's up there for my level. Like, I don't understand why it's got to be so bad, but I think it's just how it's gonna be, especially with hybrids. It's just gonna be how it is when you get new spells. So we got a bunch of spells at 39, so those level 39 spells they're gonna fizzle. It's just the way it is. Anyway, so we're in here like pretty much mindlessly, just grinding away. XP's not too bad. One thing to keep in mind is we are level 40 now, so we are in a hell level. So we're only doing like 38% an hour. It might go a little bit higher because I was lollygagging earlier. But so we might go a little higher than 38%. But that's in a hell level, and we're killing some low-level light blues. Like a lot of these, I mean dark blues. A lot of these dark blues have turned into light blues, and so we're just cherry picking dark blues at this point. I still have some buffs on me, as you can see from the Nexus. That's the one thing that's good about leveling on the moon, is that you're always going to have buffs. You know, feel about it how you will. Maybe you don't always want to be buffed. Maybe you do always. I mean, the majority of people always want to be buffed. People are always begging for buffs, right? If you go in the Nexus, that's all you hear is people begging for buffs. But if you just go, you don't have to beg for buffs. You can just go into the Nexus and AFK, go take a dump. When you come back, you probably have some buffs. It's just how it goes sometimes. Except for when you really want it. When you really want that KEI because you need to go somewhere, nobody's gonna KEI for hours. You know. It's just how the laws work. Anyways, so I was looking also, like, you know, it places the level. And I've already expressed probably earlier in this video, which was a couple days ago, about that it's kind of a squeeze. It's kind of a tight squeeze from 35 to 45-ish. You're kind of lacking on where to go and level a bit. I actually did get a group invite yesterday, right before bed, though. I was in the Nexus, I was spamming my skills, and I had about an hour before I needed to really log out. And I needed, before that hour was done, I needed to get on my Bazaar character and move some stuff around and check prices and undercut everybody and do all that kind of thing. So I needed, like, you know, 15 minutes or whatever allotted to that. So I had about 45 minutes, and somebody was putting together a group for Solusek, I don't know, Nagy's or something. And that would have been cool. It's not on the moon, but we already discussed this in the very first video. Like, if I get a group invite somewhere, like later on, I'm in my 50s, and some group invites me to Velks or something, am I gonna turn it down? You know, no, not really. We're just doing all of our soloing over here, and it's gonna be 90% over here. Obviously, we went off and we got our eye patch of plunder. If we get invited to any cool groups, we're gonna go do them, but 90% of the time, we're gonna be sitting on this moon doing moon stuff. See all those fizzles? It's crazy. I'm 172 in alteration. I don't know. Pretty crazy. But it doesn't even matter. Like, I'm crying about it, but you know, I got KEI, it doesn't matter. The wolves are pretty good. I don't think I've seen a light blue wolf yet, so the wolves are pretty good. The Zelniaks, I've been seeing light blues for a few levels now, so they're getting there. See a couple of them here now. These stone grabbers are the real deal. There's a white one and a yellow one there. Oh, that one's dead. Is that dead? Or is it just laying down? No, it's dead. That might sound funny, is it just laying down, but they lay down. They're like playing dead, so you. I don't know. I remember them being aggro, so I don't know why they don't aggro on me. They like lay down and they play dead, and when you walk past them, they stand up and go surprise cockbag, and then they start beating your face in. But it doesn't seem like they are aggro now. But maybe it's just this zone that they're not aggro on, and they're just aggro in other zones. Because they weren't aggro in Marisaru either, so maybe it's these zones they're not aggro. I don't know. Hopefully the sound isn't too quiet. I went from 45% down to 30. I was gonna initially do 35%, just knock it down 10 more percent, but it was kind of really loud. Those owlbears are like screaming, and then my bear, I'm in melee range of my bear, and he's just like growling the entire fucking time. So I just went with 30, and we'll see how it checks out. Could always adjust it again next time. Anyways, that would have been a cool group. I was talking to the person too, and see, here's the funny thing. Here's like a funny story, is like, sometimes viewers will talk to me, and like I've always said, is sometimes a viewer will message me, and their in-game name for whatever character they may be on, they could have 5 characters, and they're all different names, right? It doesn't necessarily line up with their YouTube name, and so you don't, you remember who some people are. You remember over time, you talk to them enough or whatever. Sometimes you never make the connection. Sometimes, a lot of the times people don't necessarily like say, hey, this is so-and-so from YouTube, whatever. They'll just be like, hey man, what's up? Like your videos, whatever, right? Shoot the shit real quick, whatever. But, anyways, so then sometimes I'll get a message. So like I got a message for the group last night, and they were like, hey, we're putting this group together for Sol A. You want to go? And my first thought is like, I'm just randomly sitting in the Nexus, like spamming spells, leveling up my skills, and I get a tell to I'm not LFG or anything, right? And I get a tell asking if I want to join a group. And that never happens to me, really. So my first thought is like, oh, it's somebody from YouTube, and they're hitting me up and want to know, So like I'm sitting here like explaining myself like, oh man, it's a work night and I got to go to bed. I got like an hour to my name. I still got to do all this Bazaar stuff, blah, blah, blah. Just thinking like they're from YouTube. And I'm pretty sure by the end of our little conversation, I'm pretty sure they're like, what the fuck is this guy going on about? Just say no, dude. Like, like they're just like, why? I don't need your life story, bro. Like, yes or no, do you want to go? But my brain went straight to like, I gotta explain myself, kinda, or whatever. And then I thought about it after the fact. I didn't really, initially I didn't really think of it, and then by the end of the conversation, I was just like, dude, am I like this weirdo just talking about shit nobody cares about? Anyways, I did ask him after that. I was like, while I was still in that train of thought, I was like, when do you usually do groups? Like, do you usually start them this late, or do you start earlier in the day, or what? And then this is before I kind of thought like, wait a minute, I'm talking to just like somebody random on the server, and they actually said that they start groups typically early. This would be a late start for them as well, and then they were like, it's actually probably not going to happen, anyways. And so I was like, oh, okay. But I don't know. So they were like, yeah, maybe I'll hit you up again some other time. So we might end up with a group one of these days. Yeah, there's still a lot of dark blues. I mean, I don't know. See, so we're up to 66% XP. So, I mean, it is pretty good. Like I said, before starting recording, like I killed 1 or 2 things, and then I just like sat there AFK while I brought up the recording software and stuff like that. So the XP's not bad. I'm not running a potion or anything. Speaking of which, how many potions do I have? What'd I say? We started with like 58, right? 38 plus we just got a 20 burger. So we got 33 plus the 20. So we still have 53. We've used 5 potions. That's more than I thought. I thought we used maybe 4, but 5, okay. So what does that mean? We got what? 53 potions? So we got 53 potions, but we only need 20 levels. We'll likely get more potions before Plains of Power, because when does Plains of Power launch? A year from now, right? So what's it going to be? Is it like October 1st of 2026? Is that right? Because if Luclin is going to be out for 9 months, which doesn't start until the first of the year, is that right? That's when the raids come out. I think that's when the timeline officially starts. We're just on borrowed time right now. So 9 months would be actually September 1st. Okay, so that makes sense. So we're gonna, that doesn't line up then. I was thinking it would be October 1st, but obviously it's September 1st. Because anyways, I was gonna say maybe we'll get another, stack of XP pots before we need to level 5 more levels in Plains of Power. Because that's like gonna be the only other place to use some potions. Like for instance, my Necro, I don't think my Necro's ever used a potion ever, I think. I might be wrong. I think that is wrong. I don't remember when we first got potions, but I have this feeling like, I think maybe I was 60 already before we ever got potions. And so they've just been stockpiling. But again, that could be wrong. I could be thinking, I could have used them on the Necro and thought it was the wizard or something like that. I don't really know. Something I should check next time I'm on my Necro and at the bank, because they're all in the bank. Those potions actually weigh a shit ton. That'd be cool if you can consolidate them. I know that's asking for a lot, but we did talk about how like they added the bag token thing, so you can sell bags in the Bazaar. That's super cool. I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's asking for too much, but that would be cool if we can somehow just easily, stack them or consolidate them or something. Because, and it honestly doesn't matter, but they weigh a shitload, like. What do the new ones weigh? Nothing. Well, they got smart there. Maybe they just took the weight off of them. That would have been cool. Here's the old ones. What do the old ones weigh? Nothing. Okay. Well, on my monk, I know for sure, because I was playing the monk, I was trying to keep my weight down, and the potions weighed like fucking, I don't even know, like several pounds, like 7 pounds or something crazy. And I had like multiple, multiple potions. They each weighed like 7 pounds, so I had to keep them in the bank and only keep one stack on me and put that in the box, or, whatever. It's in the box. So, about that though, we have 53 potions and 20 levels. So that means we can use over 2 potions a level. We can use, I mean, technically that's over 2.5 potions a level. Obviously, when we get into our 50s, that's when, shit's gonna get real. So we'd probably want to save a majority of those potions for the 50s. But we have a lot of potions and only 20 levels to go. I say only, when we're probably not even halfway done leveling. At level 40, halfway is probably like, I don't know, the late 40s, 46, or later, who knows. I guess somebody does, there's charts and shit out there. Oh, rabbit wolf. On the stone grabbers, I use my dot because they beat the fuck out of me. The stone grabbers, real talk. Even the blue ones, we'll have dark blue stone grabbers and they destroy me. They just hit hard, and even though I slow them, I'm pretty sure they're not slowed. I don't know. They swing fast and hard. Nah, he's got a stupid ass thing on him. Those mobs are just here to fucking piss you off. That's really it. That is really it. Here was a Zelniak. Nyak. Oh. So yeah, more of the same. I wanted to go to... I didn't finish this thought. I'm all over the place. I wanted to go to... Shoot, what is it? Grimling Forest, was it? I mentioned Grimling Forest as a... Wow, I'm really all over the place. It's crazy. Earlier we were talking about how I had mentioned there's a squeeze from like 35 to 45. And this wizard's eyeballing these wolves a bit. And so I was looking on PQDI at, like, you know, zones with mobs in the level range. There is, other than the Grimling Forest, there is Mons Latalis, but, you know, I've gone to Mons Latalis a couple of times, and it's just a clusterfuck, dude. It's like, the entire place is canyons. So you're either on top of the canyons, on like really thin squiggly lines, or you're in the canyons, which themselves are weird squiggly lines. But shit, you know, can walk straight up hills in EverQuest. You can walk straight up a hill or whatever. So stuff's going up them and down them. You can't see what's coming. There's probably casting issues, pulling shit. It's probably just not a good time. But, and I'm pretty sure when I went there on the Bard, there's like a vast level range of shit that's just like padding across each other. So, and I know the stone grabbers there are like scowling, ready to attack. But so I don't know. I just feel like that's a bad idea. I don't really think there's like a camp there outside of the. Are they undead? I don't know. The ghost dudes though at the top of the thing, at the top of that plateau up there, which we might be able to go kill those dudes, but they're like, I think they're caster. Maybe they're not. They are. There's some sort of caster. They're like castery, but they don't cast too much, something like that. I was fear kiting them on the Necro, but they're light blue at best, I think, to the Necro. So they're coming up. We might go do that just, you know, to get a different look or whatever. But that's what that's what I was trying to do, is to get a different look for the second half of this video. I eventually said, fuck it, and we'll just finish it out here, and then I'll figure out a different look for the next one. Because there's still plenty to do here. After I finished the first half of this video, I stayed here for, what was that, another 2 levels. And then I went and got my spells, and then I came back and got another level. And then now we're doing the second half of the video, 3 total levels later. And there's still plenty to do here. And like I said, you probably come back and do some rock hoppers another time. Probably where that. Mobs kind of pull themselves, so there's not really a camp here either, outside of, you know, the aforementioned ones. But for like our level right here, right now, there's not really a camp, but shit pulls itself kind of. Like, here comes a wolf. That's my next target, unless this homie comes and grabs them. But they seem to be killing stone grabbers, so. Oh, it's an enchanter taking a red mob as a pet. Might be a higher level enchanter though. Oh fuck. Now we're the sucker, the light crawler. Ooh, so I haven't buffed my pet in a while. The haste, you know, the proc lasts a long ass time, like damn near an hour, but the haste wears off in like 20 minutes, so I forget to do the haste. Earlier in the first half of the video, I said when I was talking about the bags and shit, I was like, this is probably gonna be old news because you're not gonna see this video for 5 days, but damn, it might be 7 days before you see this video. It's just the way things worked out. I had the one where we went and got the eye patch of plunder, and then the weekends here, and then I don't know, yada yada. I have an idea for something to throw in the middle, kind of. I don't know if it'll happen or not. I work all weekend, so it might not happen, so you might just end up seeing this one on a Monday or something. So back to the other part of the zones for this level range. So that's really it, those 3 zones. Grimling, this one, and Mons Latalis. So Mons Latalis is out, pretty much. We're up to 71 an hour. So we're doing really good. I mean, that's probably potion worthy, to be perfectly honest. 71 an hour in a hell level, dog. It's not bad. It's not, and this, oh yeah. So this leads into like the last part of the where to level thing, is all three of those zones that I mentioned that have mobs for like the 30 range, the mid 30s to mid 40s range. All three of those zones are like absolute dog shit Zem in terms of Luclin. Luclin's got pretty good Zem overall compared to like the old world, but you know, we're talking about like these other zones that we've been at, Polyidal Caverns off the charts, Netherbean Lair, I almost said Nerubian, you know, really good. Marasaru is actually not bad. It was pretty damn good. All these, you know, all these places really good. And then we're all the way in the pits in this one. Those are like 140, I think at worst, 1.4 or whatever. And then we skipped the 130s, we skipped the 120s, we're down in the 110s. Like, we jumped all the way down. Obviously, Paladol's like 160 or 70 or some bullshit, something crazy. But we skipped all that, and we're down in like the 110s for all three of those zones that I mentioned. They're all down here in the gutter. But even so, I mean, 73 an hour, you can't cry about that. We're doing great. There is another weapon that we can get at level 50. A dagger that can be used by Beastlords that has like a 600 damage proc or something insane. And I'm being told that it procs pretty commonly, pretty often. None of my skills are above 0, except for hand-to-hand is maxed or whatever. But daggers and one-hand blunt, two-hand blunt, it's all at 0. So I need to get on that. I need to put, like, probably throw one in the offhand. Throw a dagger in the offhand and bust a potion. And probably over the course of an hour, we'll get pretty close to maxing that out or something. Hopefully. So, no new spells. So that, I guess I should mention that. I guess I kind of just glossed over it. But we now have Yekin's Quickening. So, not only do we have the gigantic dex buff and proc for the pet, it's like 75 dex plus the proc. Not only do we have that buff for my pet, but we also have Yekin's Quickening, which is, I don't know, let me look it up. I think I have it up here. Yeah. It gives attack rating, strength, armor class, and attack. But how much? 60% attack speed. So the pet suddenly out of nowhere, not only did we get a brand new pet at 39, not only did we get a brand new pet, but they suddenly have 60% haste and 44 strength and 39 AC and 20 attack. On top of everything else, we got a new proc, so it only does 10 more damage. But I think it probably adds like another 5 or 10 dex as well. So it's up there to like 70, 80 dex or something crazy. So he's an absolute beast. He never dies and I never die, so, you know, I should probably get him pretty decent stuff. Like, I've been putting mage weapons and a muzzle on him. But I can probably splurge the 300 plat and get, or it might even be less at this point because the PvP zone's out now, and sometimes they just, Sendrith was saying, sometimes he just solos Velk's lab, and then, you know, the mob will drop like 2 pair of gloves because he's in the PvP one. So that's pretty crazy, you know. So they're just dropping like water, silver chitin hand wraps. And yes, as a child, we would all call them silver chitin hand wraps, but chitin is the material that spiders make, so it only makes sense. Anyways, yeah. So I mean, if I get a new pet, which this one's brand new, basically I might as well like splurge, maybe like, you know, whatever, 500 plat or so or whatever it is, and just, you know, dump some decent gear on the pet. He's not gonna die, so he'll probably, sometimes he dies, but he'll probably keep it for several levels. It'll be worth it is what I'm getting at. That's an option. I'll think about that. I'll see, you know, I'll weigh it out. I'll see how much the gear is, and maybe I'll make a concerted effort not to let him die. I probably should put a strength buff on us, but I'm lazy. We're cruising. Can't ask for any more. We're all twinked out. And this, my friends, this is why... Oh yeah, we'll just buy a fungi tunic and throw it on the bear. No, I'm just kidding. But this is why freaking Beastlords can't wear fungi tunic. Imagine you could wear a fungi tunic also. Crazy. And then be like an XR Beastlord or something. Or a troll. We're just chain pulling. We're pushing it, dudes. We're trying to get in the 80s% an hour, dog. We should have busted a pot, but oh well. I'm actually dad camping on my Necro right now. I should log into him. I should probably end this video anyways. I think the first half was like 45 minutes. So we're probably like well over an hour at this point. And it's all the same shit. I'm just blabbing. So let's kill a couple more here, and then I'll call it, and I'll get up on my Necro so I can kill the stuff I'm camping and get back on this guy. I'm just jumping back and forth. That's what I was doing when I was getting my skills up too. I was watching TV, getting my skills up, and then like every 30 minutes I was logging out, logging on the Necro, killing stuff, logging back in, and then I'd sit there and do my skills for 30 minutes, and then so on and so forth. About to get another, I just blew 9, ill-advised. I blew 9, oh look at all, my weapons are actually proccing for probably like the first time this video. Was that back to back? Yeah. I'm just kidding, but they don't proc very often. But I just recently blew 9 AAs, ill-advised, on the Dire Charm. It doesn't say anywhere in it, and yeah, I could have probably asked around, but it doesn't say anywhere in there, like in the TLPs and stuff, it specifically tells you, like, this only works on monsters up to level 46 or whatever. On here, it doesn't say any of that, but it turns out it's true. You can only use it on mobs up to like level 46, and I don't know. I didn't have that back in the day, so I didn't know. I didn't play casters really back in the day. I played melee and stuff, so I didn't know. I don't have a memory of any of that kind of shit. And it didn't tell you in the tooltip, so I was like, man, like I know they nerfed a lot of stuff. The TLP nerfed a ton of AAs. They nerfed a bunch of ranger ones. They nerfed caster ones. They nerfed a lot. Some stuff was too powerful, but they've buffed a lot too. Like the dot lines got buffed, the poison dot lines got buffed and stuff like that. So, sometimes they'll nerf certain things because they buffed other things and whatever. It's not about that. All I'm saying is like there was like valid reasons to not just assume, that it's the same as a TLP. Anywho, all right, so I got it, right? I spent 9 AAs on Dire Charm, and I don't know, I might never have a real good use for it, really. It's pretty crappy, and it's gonna get crappier when Pop comes out, and then we get 5 more levels. Then we'll be level 65, and we'll want to kill higher level stuff, but the Dire Charm's gonna stay at a lame-ass 46, so... You know, the stuff that I'm charming is like level 54. So it's, you know, that's the argument. Do you want a level 46 mob that never breaks, or like a 45 mob that never breaks? Or do you want a level 54 mob that'll break, but, you know, absolutely destroys shit? And you gotta, you know, you gotta risk it for the biscuit, right? Anyway, so I'm on the Necro. I'm almost back up to another 6 spot, which is like, I don't know. I kind of feel like I should be getting stuff in the archetype, but I think I'm going to continue to put. There's a couple things I'm going to buy in class so that I can get the Lich title and kind of just finish class off, in my opinion, for like a while. Like a couple more things I'll grab, and then I can just kind of not pay attention to class for a little while, and I'll go to archetype for a while. And the stuff in archetype's a lot cheaper. The stuff in class is kind of expensive, so just get out of the way. But anyways, I'm about to be at 6, and at 6 AA, there's 2 things. One of them is god damn it, a lay on hands for the pet. That's pretty cool. I think I heard it heals like 10,000. You know, so a level 54 boss mob, that might not be like a legit full heal, but it's gonna be pretty damn close. If they're down to like 20%, it'll probably full heal them in most cases. And the other option, which I'm probably gonna get, is just the ability to control your pet better. It's something that pretty much, like, if you're raiding in a guild, they would demand that you get this. Usually they'll demand or require that you get like MGB, depending on your class, if you need it. And I mean, if they offer it to you, you probably need it. But the other one that they kind of require is pet discipline. And so, I mean, we could just take a look here. Pet discipline right here for 6 points. And it just gives you like a command to hold your pet. So you know how, like, when you have a pet and you tell your pet to guard, you know, especially if you're charming, you tell it to guard far away because you don't want it up on your ass when it breaks. But then, like, you're pulling something and the mob hits you, and then your pet just charges in, but maybe you need to pull it back because there's pats and shit that come, and then now your pet's getting hit and he's in the line of fire and he's getting hit, and you're telling your pet back, but then he keeps getting hit in the back and he doesn't want to go back, and it's this whole fucking game of cat and mouse and shit. It's not really cat and mouse, but it's this whole game of just trying to get your pet back, but he keeps flipping back and forth and everything, and next thing you know, here comes the pat, and it's just like, oh, now you're in like a, you know, a shit fest. So this will just eliminate all of that. And then it's very good in raids. So when you get hit with AoE, your pet doesn't charge in and screw something up, you know, because certain ways you pull raid mobs and stuff, you don't want your pets going in when the raid gets hit with an AoE. You know, if you're in any raids, I'm sure you've heard people get yelled at. Get your pet out! Or whatever. So, yeah. It's just a nice quality of life, something that probably should have been in the game the entire time. It never was, and then they gave it to you as an AA. But you need it. Saves a lot of heartache and a lot of trouble. So I'll probably get that. I might even be able to get that tonight. I think I might ding my 6th AA tonight, maybe. Depends. I'm not really trying to. I'm just doing the dad camp thing, but it's decent XP. And after that, I want to get probably the pet lay on hands. It's pretty good when you're charming mobs. If you just have a regular Joe Schmo pet, not that great, really. I mean, it could save you in a pinch, but when you have a charmed pet, they have a ton of life. That's why, like, a CH is so good. That's why a cleric enchanter is so good. They can CH your pet who has a ton of life. So You get 1 CH an hour, but it, you know, it could save you in a pinch, or maybe it can enable you to kill some crazy boss mob that you otherwise couldn't kill, because now you essentially have 2 pets. You know, and being somebody as like a Necro, I could be running dots the entire time, whittling them down. So I could probably, you know, enable you to do some shit that you can't normally do. And so I'll get that. And then I'll just need 3 more for the title, and there's something dumb for like 3. I'm just seeing if they have it on here as well. I don't think they do. Something stupid that I'll get on the Necro for 3, and then that'll be that, and I'll be done. So that's what I'm working on the Necro. Slowly over time. Hey, we broke the 80% even while blabbing and not paying too much of attention. Very good. But anyways, yeah, this is running long. So I'm gonna get you all up out of here. We'll just kill this last mob. Figure out somewhere else to go. We might check out Gremlin, because like we really don't have that many choices. I know somewhere to go, but I think I want to get a few more levels first. Maybe around like 42 or 43. So it might not be next episode. It might be one more after that. I don't know. I may go check it out. But I don't want to spoil it or say it just in case I don't do it. It's nothing crazy or exciting, but it's just somewhere new. Somewhere I actually haven't shown on the Necro either, so that's cool. But, yeah, so where are we? 69, hell yeah. Nice. 69% into level 40. Oh, yeah. So what I do need to do before the next episode is at level 40, we got Riposte. I need to go back to town and get Riposte. We just got it this level. I just got to go train it. So that's something I will do, is run back and get Riposte. And, so in the next episode, we'll have that, and we can level that up, and we'll feel even more powerful. So at 39, new pet, new proc. Pet's got haste now. Oh, we got a new dot. We got a new heal, new pet heal. And then level 40, our weapon's now proc. 1 level later, our weapon's now proc, and we're going to get Riposte. So, you know, we're feeling really, really powerful right now. We're feeling really good. Even though we're getting higher level, and we just got, you know, I mean, we just got our eye patch of plunder recently too. That was within like the last couple of levels, so a lot of things came together all right here in the late fucking piece of shit. No, 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 no! Where are you going? Ah, oh, you fuck. Let's kill this thing first, yeah. So a lot coming together right there in the late 30s, entering the 40s, which is really good because this is where, you know, where stuff starts to get tough, levels start to get longer. So we're gonna do all of that. Anything else? Oh, and then we do get, I think I mentioned this earlier, maybe we do get spiritual. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Get out of the way. I don't want to fight another damn light crawler, dude. Just a waste of time. Probably could kill it faster than you walk, bear. Damn, why are you so slow? It's probably still gonna aggro. This fucking thing sucks. We'll do it live. What was it again? I mean, we're gonna be here. We gotta kill another thing. Spiritual light. So we get our group passive mana and hit point regeneration. So it says and hit point regeneration. But we can check this now because we can do /stats. So on the hardcore Beastlord, rip, we were questioning if it does because the way it reads, and I'm on TAC P right now. So we're getting a different look right here. Because I wanted to make sure Riposte was at 40, and I don't know where to find that on PQDI. I don't know where to find melee skills on PQDI. I'm sure they're there. I just don't know where to find them. And I don't care to figure it out when I could just type this in 5 seconds. All right. So See, here's the thing, is it says increase mana by 3 per tick. And then it says increase hit points by 3. It doesn't say per tick. So that leads you to believe it literally just gives you 3 hit points. Not per tick, because it doesn't say per tick. Now, if you look on PQDI, it's the same thing. It says 3 mana per tick and increase hit points by 3, period. But if we come out of here and we read, now this is probably just the website, their description, but the description of it here says passive group increase passive mana and hit point regeneration. Is it hit point regeneration though? Because I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Where's my bear? It's probably in this tree. Anyways, I've been trying to end this for a minute. But hey, if you know the answer to that, I'm pretty sure it's not, right? I think we tested it. Like, I looked at my health every tick, and then I clicked it off and looked. But now we can do that slash, what was it, stats? Slash my stats? Yeah, so now we can do slash my stats, and we can actually look at the difference of HP regeneration before and after the spell or whatever, right? 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 Aww. Yeah, maybe we can't. So maybe I'm relying on you guys to let me know. I don't think it does, but the way they word it here, it says it does. Anyways, I will see you in the next video.